Hi, I'm Weston. I love talking about the Astros, and I'm here to talk about Game 82 of the regular season, where the Astros win against the Kansas City Royals. 5-2. They had to make another multi-run comeback, which isn't wonderful, but they did it at least. What I think is just so funny about the Astros struggling and going down multi-runs multiple times in all three of the wins, and obviously the loss against the Royals, is that, I haven't panicked at all during the time that, A, we'd lose the games or that anything is going to be disrupted anyway. And, other teams are struggling at this point. You know, the Yankees have had some ups and downs. The Mets have had some ups and downs. They've looked suspect ever since we did what we did to them. And, those fan bases are starting to panic a little bit. We're 5-5 in our last 10. Oh my god, we're cooked. And then the Astros have their struggles, and all the fans are just like, oh, we're struggling against bad teams. Yep, that means it's July. This is your friendly reminder that last season in late June and early July, we lost a series to the Detroit Tigers and then got swept in Minute Maid Park by the Baltimore Orioles. Friendly reminder. But let's not talk about other teams or last season. Let's talk about today's game. Verlander on the mound for the Astros, and he played a good game. I thought he pitched well. 6 innings of work, 8 strikeouts, only 2 walks, 2 runs, only one of them was earned, and the unearned run was so unearned it wasn't even funny. That was one of the worst defensive gaffes I've seen from the Astros in a hot minute. Our defense has looked really suspect in the outfield the last few days, which is a little bit troubling. I'm not going to press the panic button yet or anything, but that's a little worrisome. And yeah, he gave up 7 base hits, but only 5 hard hit balls, and I believe 2 or 3 of them were into hard outs for Verlander, so it wasn't like he was bad or anything. Got a little bit unlucky with the runs and some weak base hits, but I thought he pitched a really good game. And then the bullpen. Oh, the sweet, sweet bullpen, looking just like this incredible bullpen that absolutely no one predicted. I can't. The poll today was what was the most shocking thing for the Astros this season. The bullpen should have been the unanimous vote. I could have, you could tell me all the other things, right? Jeremy Pena is going to have a Rookie of the Year type season. I'd be like, yeah, I could see it. Jordan is going to have probably the best offensive season in franchise history. I'd be like, yeah, I can see that. Verlander comes back and is no different. I'm like, yeah, I can see it. And they're like, the bullpen is the best in Major League Baseball. I'm like, what are you smoking? Maton comes in for a scoreless inning with a strikeout. Rafael Montero, the James Click masterclass, clean inning of work, strikes out the side. Easy peasy. Rafael Montero is just goofy this season. And Ryan Presley comes in and locks it down in the 9th inning with a strikeout. The bullpen, man, I can't get over it. The Astros offense today was interesting. They had a lot of hits. They had a lot of walks. 10 walks for the team today. That is goofy, especially in 8 innings because we didn't play the bottom of the 9th. That's ridiculous. We were incredibly disciplined. We were very patient. And, the walks were up and down. Altuve had a pair of walks. Alvarez drew out a walk. Bregman had a pair of them. Myers drew out a walk. Matanjevic, Dubon, McCormick, Maldi. Everyone was drawing walks. Maldonado also had an infield hit. And at that moment, I kind of just thought the simulation had broken. But the Astros, who fell down early in this game, started coming back in the 5th inning. Jose Altuve with a 2-run shot into the Crawford boxes. Altuve having one of the best seasons of his career offensively. This is going to rival his 2017 MVP campaign by WRC Plus standards. He is just fantastic this season. I believe he's 7th league-wide, or maybe 8th. I think it depends on what Jose Ramirez does tonight. But he is up there. Not of second baseman, not in the American League, in all of Major League Baseball. He is top 10. He is absolutely just having a wonderful season this year. And also in the same inning, Jordan, Alvarez, homers, the pair of all-stars. And I'm going to take this moment to talk a little bit about the All-Star game because I've seen some Astros fans talking about it. I've seen, obviously the All-Star thing is coming up, and I have not said a single word about voting for the Astros for the All-Star game, and that's because I don't want them to make it. And before you yell at me, let me explain. Okay, look, yes, there is a part of me that thinks it would be really funny to see Jose Altuve start the All-Star game for the American League in Dodger Stadium with all the Dodgers fans there. That would be funny. It would also be funny to watch Jordan Alvarez hit absolute rockets in the home run derby in Dodger Stadium, the team that traded him to us for basically nothing. That would also be funny. But at the same time, I understand that the home run derby can kind of mess up your swing for a little bit, and he's having probably the best season in franchise history, and I kind of don't want to mess with that. And on the Altuve thing, I just don't think the mental damage is worth it for him or Jordan to go to Dodger Stadium and get yelled at the way we know they would. Altuve seems like he's finally happy again, and I'm kind of in that mindset of why risk anything? They're both having potentially career years. Jordan's case, franchise year. I just kind of don't want to gum up the work. So if they make it, that's cool, but I'm also kind of hoping that if they do make it, they're like, nah, we're good. Speaking of Altuve, he would have a sac fly in the 8th to give us a little bit more insurance, and then Aledmys Diaz would have a double to give us even more insurance to make it a 5-2 Houston lead. Diaz, again, as like your 5th player, or like your 11th player on the depth chart, just fantastic. So this series is very strange to me because it's like, hey, you won the series 3-0. That's really cool. You had a cool walk-off home run by Jordan. You had a bunch of, multi-run comebacks, and that's really cool. And multi-run comebacks, I mean, hey, that should spark confidence with a team of like, man, nothing can keep us down. I'm like, yes, they would be very impressive if it weren't against the Royals. But hey, a series win is a series win. I will happily take it. And we move on to another series that has the potential to go pretty well in the Astros' favor. We move on to Oakland. In Oakland, the late night games are back. Yay. At least we only have one super late night game, which is the first one of the series. Oakland has not named their starter yet for it, but we have announced Jose Urquidy as the starter for tomorrow night's game. That is at 9:40 Eastern, God help me, 8:40 Central, and I'll be here afterward to talk about it. So, that is all I have to say for the evening. Thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you all have an absolutely fantastic day, and as always, go Astros.